Welcome to Altenew Academy. Today we're going to be playing with some ink blending with some beautiful foiling too. So to start with, I am going to be starting with the Linear Life Tropical Garden hot foil plates. And as you can see, these are all singular, so you can kind of arrange these on your hot foil machine however you want. I have let these heat up. I'm then going to add some foil, shiny side down, then a piece of cardstock that I want to foil onto, as well as a couple of shims. Do not use shims if you don't need to use them. Just make sure that it's not kind of hurting your machine when you do run that through. So as you can see, I have beautifully foiled those, and I did do that twice. So I have 2 panels of these beautiful gold florals now. So once that has been done, I then went ahead and die cut all of them. So I am using the coordinating die for this one, and I'm just going to add those around the foiled images, add a little bit of tape so they don't move around, and then run those through my die cutting machine. They are going to leave a little bit of a white border around the outside, but I do like that look as well. So as you can see, I have cut both of those sheets out, so we have all of those beautiful little die cuts there. I'm then going to go ahead and colour my little die cuts. Now we are going to be using ink blending for this. As you can see, I'm using a small ink blending tool to add ink to the little die cuts. So for the leaves, I'm using the beautiful parrot colour, and I'm then going to add in some moss along that top side as well, and that is going to add that beautiful effect, gradient effect that we have. So I am going to do the same technique for all of the leaves. So I'm adding that parrot down first, starting from the base of the leaf, and then adding some of that moss just at the base to kind of darken that, add a little bit more shadow and a greater gradient to the overall effect of the leaf. So I'm just going to keep going until I have all of the 6 leaves done in exactly the same way with that beautiful look. So once that's done, I'm then going to move on to the flowers. Now we have some ready pink ones. So for the ready pink flowers, I am going to be using the coral berry ink and then some ruby red. So as you can see, I'm just going to add the coral berry all over the little petals that we do have on the flower. Once I'm kind of happy with the amount of colour I have down there and I've got kind of a good base, I'm then going to add some of that darker colour, the ruby red, into the centre of the flower, kind of at the base of all of the petals there. And then for the stamen, I'm just going to add some snapdragon just to that little pollen piece right at the top. So I'm going to do the same for all of the pinky red flowers that we have. I did kind of separate all of my flowers into 3 little piles just to add a little bit of kind of different look to all of the different flowers. So I'm just going to keep going with this one. So this is the coral berry and also the ruby red right in the center there, and then just kind of blend that out with the coral berry as well. So for this one here, we do have the little stamen within the flower, so it's kind of going over the image, it keeps within the image rather than over it. And to get into the little stamen on this one, I'm just going to use a really small detail blending tool and just kind of tap some of that ink, some of that snapdragon ink into place there. I'm then going to move on to the purple flowers. So for these ones here, I am going to be using the hydrangea ink to kind of cover the whole base of the petals, and then I'm going to be using that beautiful ultraviolet right in the center there to add that dark spot and get that gradient effect really kind of strong in the center there, and then kind of blend that out again with the lighter color to give a greater blended effect. So I'm just going to do the same for all of those. Again, I'm using the hydrangea ink and then a little bit of that ultraviolet just in the center. As you can see, this is the one that has the stamen within the petal. So I am kind of just going lighter around the stamen part so I can add in the orangey yellow color really quickly and easily with that little tiny ink blending tool that I have. For this one here, I am using the Snapdragon as before. So I'm going to do some orange ones, and for the orange flowers I'm going to use marigold and also some of the fire brick for the centerpiece. So I'm just going to add the beautiful marigold color down first. This is the lighter one of the oranges, and I'm going to add that fire brick right in the center. I do have a smaller blending tool for this one, but you could use whichever one works best for you. And I'm just going to blend that out again using my larger one. So for the statement on this one, I will be using the maple yellow to kind of get a little bit more of a difference rather than using a yellow color. An orange color, sorry, on the stamen of this one. So that's what we have. We have the beautiful marigold for the base, then the fire brick for the little centerpieces, and then the maple yellow for the stamen. So as you can see, we have all of our beautifully colored die cuts here now, and then we can go ahead and create our background. So for the background, I have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of classic Crest Solar white cardstock, and I'm just going to create a gradient effect on the background. I will be using the mountain mist, the volcano lake, the lagoon, and also the emerald to add that darker touch to the top. To add a little bit of interest, I'm also going to add some splatter using some of the antique gold ink spray from Altenew, and I just love that beautiful shine that we have there. So once I'm happy with my background, I can then go ahead, take my die cuts and have a play with how I want these to look on my background. Once I'm happy, I'm then going to take some foam tape, and this is when I'm going to adhere them down. So I didn't adhere them down while I was playing with them. You want to be able to really get a good look of how you want them to look before you actually commit yourself to the layout that you have chosen. So I'm just going to add some foam tape behind all of those little elements just to make sure that they pop up from that beautiful background that we have. I'm going to use exactly the same tape for the little leaves that we have as well. I just love how vibrant these leaves are compared to the flowers, and they really do make those flowers pop a little bit more as well. So I'm just going to pop those into place, and as you can see, I'm kind of doing them in like a triangular fashion, as I find that this works better for the overall look. And then once that's done, I can get rid of any overhanging pieces from behind using my scissors. So once that's done, I'm then going to move on to the sentiment. I'm using one of the sentiments from the Monstera in Quotes stamp set, and I have this little hello here, and I'm just going to stamp that onto some jet black cardstock using some embossing ink. So once that's been stamped, I'm just going to pour over some of the rose gold embossing powder from Altenew, tap off any excess, and then I'm just going to heat set that. I've then trimmed this down into a little strip, and I'm just going to play with this on my card base. You can kind of trim little pieces if you need to as well, just using some scissors, just to make sure that it's going to fit perfectly. I did want this kind of poking out from some of the elements, so that's where I'm going to have it. I've just added a little bit of an angle on the other side to add some interest, and then I'm going to pop that into place using some foam tape. So here is the card complete. I really do hope that you've liked the card and that you've enjoyed the techniques involved too. If you do create a card that was inspired by this, it'd be great if you do share, because we'd love to see. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and we'll see you again really, really soon. Bye-bye.